A huge moorland fire is continuing to spread because the land is as dry as a tinder box and winds are fanning the flames. The blaze covers 3.7 miles, 6 kilometers, of Saddleworth Moor and has been raging since Sunday night. More than 50 homes were evacuated in Carrbrook, near Stalybridge, Greater Manchester, and 150 people affected. One resident described seeing ash falling like rain and another said it looked like the apocalypse. Dave Keelan, Director of Emergency Response at Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service, said 70 of its firefighters were tackling the blaze. He confirmed talks were ongoing to see if the Army could offer extra teams, four-wheel drive vehicles and air support. Brenda Warrington, leader of Tameside Council, said firefighters were hoping for a really good downpour and rain was the only thing that would quickly deal with the blaze. "We do need Mother Nature to help us, quite frankly," she said. "It's as dry as a tinder box up there. A lot of winds are fanning the fire. They are working extremely hard, as they have been for the past couple of days, in really arduous conditions in heat and smoke," he said. Matt Lomas, 76, who was evacuated with his wife, daughter, and 8-month-old granddaughter Isla, said, "We could see flames 50 feet high like a raging ball of fire all on the hillside. It was really scary. We were really worried the smoke would hurt Isla, so we had to get out." Angela Brown, 59, said she saw ash falling like rain from the raging fire. "It was terrifying. It was getting closer and closer. Every so often there was a crackle and flames would shoot in the air." Pete Woodward, 43, said, "It looked like the apocalypse. There was a towering inferno of flames." He said he just grabbed a toothbrush and underpants and got out with his partner and 2 young daughters. The flames were 500 meters long. It was a raging wildfire. You could hear the odd explosion, but thankfully the house survived. The fire began on Sunday night, reignited on Monday during the hot weather and then spread throughout Tuesday, fanned by evening winds. Police said the homes in Carr Rise, Carr Lane, and Calico Crescent were evacuated on Tuesday evening due to the proximity of the flames. The majority of people had returned by Wednesday afternoon. Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham said a request to the military for extra support is being prepared, so there is a backup plan to support firefighters. "I think everybody feels a great deal of gratitude towards them firefighters, but it's hit the point where reinforcements are needed and that's what we're arranging," he told BBC Radio 5 Live. Thick smoke is swirling around the village of Carrbrook, making people cough and cover their mouths. Ash covers a welcome mat at one house, and evacuated neighbors hug each other in the street. Some have tears in their eyes while others shake their heads as they look at the charred hillside. 1 or 2 cuddle their precious pet cats and dogs. Thick smoke can still be seen on the hilltops from the fires burning on the moors beyond. Snuggled up to his mother, 7-year-old Oscar McPhee sums up the mood. "It was scary, but we're safe." The fire service earlier confirmed the blaze was spreading and said crews had recommenced offensive firefighting. Assistant Chief Fire Officer Leon Parks said crews planned to put a heavy attack on the fire, which has been declared a major incident. Smoke and flames can still be seen for miles, but Mr. Parks said crews had quelled the risk to homes at risk from the flames. He said it had not been established what might have caused the fire. Greater Manchester Police's Saddleworth Division said about 2,000 acres of moorland had been destroyed in the fire. Some 65,000 gallons of water were dropped on the blaze by a helicopter on Tuesday to fight the fire, which was unprecedented in recent times, it added. Firefighter Ricky Case, who has been out on the hills, said, "It's just the sheer vastness of it. It's one of the biggest ones I've been on in a long time." Farmer Chris Cadiz, 58, and his wife Jane, 50, refused to leave despite the fire being just 30 feet from his farm and police asking them to go. "I was concerned, but we're set up with masks and we put a towel under the door," Mr. Cadiz said. "We've had fires before, but this one was pretty close." Prime Minister Theresa May and Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn praised firefighters ahead of Prime Minister's questions earlier. Ms May told MPs the government is keeping the situation under constant review. She offered her sympathy to the firefighters and residents and added that operational policy arrangements were in place to provide support if required. Mr. Corbyn said, "I'm sure all our thoughts are with the firefighters and the communities and families, and the member for Stalybridge and Hyde is there today to support them." Huge amounts of smoke has drifted westwards, with large parts of Greater Manchester experiencing poor visibility. BBC Weather's Simon King said there was a brisk easterly wind forecast for Wednesday with little to no rain in the forecast for at least a week.
Call a major incident, and by calling a major incident, that's kind of the trigger points which brings multi-agencies together to talk about how best to deal with the situation collectively. So the major incident